Hey y'all, what's going on? So, this video, a little bit different. Um, Obviously, this time around you have the Baldur's Gate in the background, and you know, this is pre-recorded. I've got about 2 hours of footage behind this, um, and it's really for no particular reason. I was playing with my friend during this. That's the other person you see here playing with me at this moment in time. Um, but basically, what this video is going to be is we're just gonna talk, right? Um, I decided that I wanted to, start making some more variety of what is shown on the channel. Right, it's been a lot of Minecraft, right? Which I have no problem with, but I mean, half the time I'm just talking, right? So I might as well um, talk about other things in the background. So I have Baldur's Gate on in the background here, and we're just gonna have a good time. We're just gonna have a quick conversation about some things, because after all, that's what this channel is all about, right? It's all about just talking and having a good time. Um, and for this video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about, further on my theater journeys, because, well, I feel like it's kind of fun, and also it's theater's interesting, and because the person I'm playing with here, he's a good friend of mine. He is also a theater guy like me, and so it felt pretty reasonable to do a story like this. So sit back, relax, and with my 2-minute intro, let's get started here. Overall, though, you know, okay, I already discussed how my first show was Mary Poppins, right? But after that, I didn't really discuss, what happened afterwards. And so I want to discuss one very specific thing, that if you were in theater for any longer than one full year, right, you probably went through this at least once. And that is a showmance. All right, a showmance. Now, what is the actual definition of a showmance? Well, it's a relationship or a romance that you typically end up getting into, a relationship you end up getting into specifically during a show, during a musical or theater production. And they have terrible stigmas, terrible, because every time you get into them, it's typically between two people who are either dancers together or the lead roles together. They spend a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot of time together. It's the same type of deal of like, you don't actually think your coworker's hot. You just spend, 10 hours a day with them, 5 days a week. So, you just don't have the ability to think that anyone else is hot. It's kind of the same deal, right? So, there was this girl that I was with. We'll call her Jennifer. Why Jennifer? I don't know, but we're going to call her Jennifer. For the sake of argument, right? And this whole story, I mean, there's so many different things I could say about the story, but I won't for this one, just because. But one thing I want to address is kind of the showmance that I had with Jennifer, and it started out. I had a little crush on her, right? And I asked her out once. Okay, and she was like, no. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Also, this was like 7th grade. Let me make that clear. So like middle school. So I asked her out, and she said no, and I was like, oh no, what a shame. Middle school relationship. I had a crush on her. Yeah, all that good stuff, right? But I had a crush on her, and when all was said and done, it was kind of funny because we did the show together. The show was Bye Bye Birdie. Now, if you don't know what Bye Bye Birdie is, it's like a weird variant of like. It's like if Grease and West Side Story had a baby. Kinda. I don't know. It's weird. Basically, there's this guy named Birdie. He's being shipped off to war, among with some other dudes. But Birdie was like the talk of the town. He was gonna ask this girl to prom. She ended up going with it. It's a weird freaking show. It was not a good show, and I might get a lot of hate for that from anyone who actually likes theater. But I did not like Bye Bye Birdie. It was not a fun show for me. It wasn't a fun show for many people, but not the point. Point is, Bye Bye Birdie. Right. I did that show. At the same time, I was doing a show called Willy Wonka. And that was so Bye Birdie was with the school. Willy Wonka was with that theater group that I mentioned a couple videos ago. So with Bye Bye Birdie, I was introduced to this girl, and once again, I still had a crush on her, all that good stuff, right? But she was my dance partner, so that was already awkward enough, right? But then she started getting flirty with me, okay? And so about I'd say during the end, like nearing Tech Week, not quite Tech Week, but nearing Tech Week, she's like, hey, I really think you're cute. You want to go out? And I'm like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So I said yes. But so then we started just hanging around during the show some more, right? We carpool, yay, all that good stuff. Valentine's Day, all that good jazz. And we stayed together for a few months after the show, and then it was like out of nowhere she was like, hey, not feeling it anymore. Now what changed? Literally nothing. Like, this is strictly just what happens, guys. Showmances are all about you get involved with someone for the show duration, a couple months after, and then you break up. It's like a long-term fling. That's kind of what it is. I heard this song by a creator named was Melina KD. A very good musical artist. Maybe I'll link the video down in the description below. But it's a song, and it's called Showmance, or it's called No Chance Showmance. It's a hilarious song. Anyone who's a theater kid would love it. It's a really funny song, but it's all about basically getting closer to your other actor, and you get involved with them. And like, you don't even need to be in theater to understand this. I mean, if you do me a favor, right? Think about some of your most favorite celebrities, right? Notice how a lot of times they get together like after a show is done, or like after production is done, and like for some reason, like maybe a year later they break up. It's like, that's just how it works, right? I mean, it's super funny because that's what a showmance is, right? It happens out of nowhere. So yeah, I mean, the showmances, they're interesting, and they will always get you in trouble because they're so awkward, and your directors will always yell at you for them. Like, every director I've had is like, no dating during the show, because like, okay, the showmance happens, right? And let's say it happens at the start. Well, the likelihood is of you making it to the end of the show is not high. So by the time you make it to the end of the show, you break up, right? So then it gets really, really awkward, because like, what if it's the two leads, they have like a kiss scene, right? And like a month and a half ago, it was perfectly fine for them to kiss because they were dating. But now, like a month and a half later, we're still in high school, or like high middle school, low middle school, or high middle school, low high school. Like, that's awkward, right? So now you have to go kiss someone that you're like, oh, well, I just broke up with them. Super, super weird. Now, obviously, when you get older and like in the professional theater world, like that's not as awkward, but it still has some awkwardness to it. But like when you're younger, it's super freaking awkward. And it's funny. So I don't know, that's what a showmance. I have another couple stories about showmances. I'm still friends with one of them today, and we laugh about it every now and then. It was, well, okay, that one I don't know if it was a showmance. I think that was actually more of like a relationship that like sprung from a showmance. I don't know, not the point. Point is, maybe I'll get into that in another video. But like, I've got so many theater stories, y'all. My friend and I, we're doing a full playthrough here of this Baldur's Gate run. Right now, you see we have two companions, Lae'zel and Shadowheart. We are not going to be using those. In fact, we end up, spoiler, we end up killing both of them in the next few minutes here. This is the only fight we use them for the combat, because we kind of have to, unless we just kill them early on. But we used them for this combat, and then we went forward. It's just myself and my friend. And then we will be using two companions that don't really appear until the end of Act 2, start of Act 3. And then when we get them, those are the only companions we are allowed to use. We might use ones if we don't kill them early on in the final fight, but this is an honor mode run. We're running through it already. I will link my friend's Twitch and TikTok down below, because he does live stream this. I just record the videos, and then I go back later and talk over them. So if you want to know how it's been going, go ahead. But if you just want to see 10-minute clips, I've got about 2 hours of the footage here already, so there's a lot of footage I can go through. But yeah, in case you want to, you can. He does stream, and I do talk on that stream. I am not as calm as I am when I record these videos, but if you would like to, you are more than welcome to go see what my friend and I end up going to do. But other than that, that's gonna wrap that up for this video. That actually timed pretty well for this playthrough. So I will see y'all next time in the next video. That's 2 done. I need to record 7 for y'all. This is while I'm gone for vacation. So we're making progress. But until next time, y'all have been great, and hopefully you enjoyed this new type of content.